I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
I get idiots on Facebook and sometimes on Instagram that'll come to me. They never do this in person, but they'll say, "Oh, Rico, is America great again yet?" The answer is fuck yeah. America is great again right now. Trump's been in office 200 and something odd days, literally has changed the country and made America great. Right now, because of enforcing our illegal immigration laws that were already on the books before Trump became president, we have completely changed the landscape of our cities to the point where people are now calling me from other states, especially from my home state of California, and they're saying, Rico, I'm noticing rents are going down. Rent is going down. And then one of my friends called me this morning and he said, I just got a job working construction. And I was like, but you've never worked construction. He said, yeah, they're offering to give me free training. Now, I've been in America pretty much most of my life. The word free and the word America, those two words don't usually go together. What do you mean they're offering you free training? You think all of a sudden, just out of the blue, in 2025, they're just offering people free training for no reason? Absolutely not. It's because Trump effectively just ended slavery yet again. If you're an illegal and you're working under the table, you're not getting paid benefits, you can't file a complaint, you're working for low wages, or sometimes you're not paid at all. Yes, you are essentially a modern slave. Might not be chattel slavery, but it's you're still a slave. Trump ended slavery again, and everyone was saying, "Oh, well, if we don't have our slaves, I mean, if we don't have illegals, then all these companies are going to buckle, and nothing's going to get." I tried to tell people those were just the golden years for these companies. Even these companies were not built upon just depending on slave labor. The slave labor have benefited these companies to the tune of billions. Even Elon Musk is pissed off because he can't get his Indian slaves over here anymore. But without the slaves, these companies are going to have to keep going business as usual, but they got to go back to the original playbook, which is hiring Americans and paying them a livable wage. But now that rent is going down, gas is going down, groceries are going down due to inflation going down, that is a livable wage that you're being paid. It's crazy that we've all been held hostage by Democrat policies that enabled illegal immigration. And because of that, we've all paid the price. I used to wonder, why is rent so damn high? This neighborhood isn't that great. But I'm looking around and I'm like, man, it's a lot of like illegals here. Let's be honest. And they're being charged a premium because the landlord is going to turn a blind eye to the fact that you got a lot of people in the apartment. Nobody has a social security card. No one, and there's no proof of income. You know, they have money, they have cash, but you don't have a paycheck stub because they're not being paid above the table. Therefore, they're paying a premium. But what that does is that raises the minimum rent prices for your area. So that becomes the new standard around you. So now everyone has to pay higher rent. And it keeps just going up and up. And then they're moving into these areas, renting all the apartments, and they're literally having bidding wars for some of these places. So if you're a landlord, you can charge a premium, you can charge extra because it seems like there's a very high demand and a low supply. This story right here is showing also something that is amazing. Since Home Depot lost his slave labor force, now they are going to be giving out free training for trades like construction, electrical work, HVAC, plumbing, and painting. And you'll be able to earn a certificate. You guys do know there are such thing as trade schools, right? And you usually got to get a student loan to take it out. But see, a trade school makes sense. A university doesn't. See, you can't use an AI to come fix the plumbing or build an HVAC system in a home. An AI won't be able to you do electrical work and crawl into your ducts and your ceiling. Those jobs are irreplaceable. But AI has definitely uprooted jobs that a lot of women do, which is secretarial, glamorized secretaries. But see, a trade you can't replace. An AI won't be able to get on a dump truck and pick up your trash. It's not going to happen. But if you're, doing clerical work or you're a manager or you're upper management, a computer can do that. Anybody can do that. But now there's no more DEI and there is AI. A lot of people don't have anything to do because a lot of these jobs shouldn't have existed in the first place. They only existed to meet quotas. But these type of jobs right here are the bread and butter of a society. This is amazing. You want to learn HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or how to paint and get a career started for free? Well, Home Depot is opening new doors for aspiring tradespeople through its program called Path to Pro Skills Program, a free certification initiative aimed at helping people launch or advance careers in skilled trades. So you mean to tell me in my entire adult life, I was never being offered free skills to learn trades because millions of illegals were already over here doing the work? I grew up in Los Angeles. There were no jobs. Everyone had to go out and try to commit a crime or do something. It really was, there was no work. But it's crazy. Every restaurant I ever went to, now that I think about it, everyone in there is Mexican or El Salvadorian. So basically, all the restaurants, all the stores, all the construction jobs, all the trades, all being done by illegals. All of them. So regular Americans like myself just literally wander around thinking, damn, there are no jobs. But how is our society working? How are businesses functioning? How are things happening if there's no job? Like, this is weird. Doesn't make any sense. And then you find out, and then you start thinking about it like, wow, this everyone around me has been employed, but that was Hispanic, and they're just getting away with slave labor, and that puts us Americans out of work. But now that people know Trump's in office putting belt to ass, they're like, well, we're going to just rebuild our workforce and we're going to hire Americans. I'm sorry. That's it. He has officially made America great again. Rent and jobs. I don't give a fuck. You know what? Oh yeah. I don't gotta hear that. I don't gotta hear Jiggly Dick Alinsky begging for money anymore. We call him Jiggly Dick because he was wearing a fucking leotard and jiggling his dick one day right before he became right before he started the war. And so we just call him Jiggly Dick. I don't got to hear about the Ukraine bullshit anymore. That's another thing that made this great again. But lower rent and Americans being hired to work, it brings a tear to my eyes. Donald J. Trump did what everybody said was impossible or highly improbable. And you would think it's impossible because no one else ever did it. Barack Obama didn't bring jobs back to American people. Biden didn't do it. They didn't even care. They were too busy trying to, do quid pro quos in the Ukraine and execute Gaddafi in the street. Like, what, how does that benefit Americans? But yet you don't understand what it means to be America first. But I take it a step further. I say America only. Everybody else, what's going on is none of our business. Stay out of it. We have to focus on home. Also, it says that the program, available both online and in person, covers fundamentals in construction, electrical work, HVAC, plumbing, paint, etc. Participants finish with an official completion certificate proving their skills in safety, tool handling, material management, and even team communication. This is, can you just think about it? Most of us, you get out of high school, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, the only option you had was probably go to the military, depending on what part of the country you live in, because there's no jobs, or so you think. You thought there were no jobs. There were plenty. They just were not available to you because you weren't an illegal. But if you were an illegal breaking the law and nobody was enforcing the law, then apparently sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. But now the limit's the sky if you're an illegal. And you're going to have to go home and make your home country great again. That's just how it works. Home Depot says the courses are designed for everyone from beginners exploring a new career path to experienced workers looking to sharpen their abilities. The content is offered in both English and Spanish. Should be just English, with the flexible scheduling to accommodate busy lifestyles. If you're going to live in America, you're going to want to work with Americans, you're going to need to learn English. Everybody doesn't need to learn Spanish. That's actually counterproductive. You should be forcing them to learn English, because there's no way they're going to be able to be productive in a country that's English speaking unless they're completely immersed around only Spanish speaking people in America. And that's going to be increasingly hard to do with the deportations. They need to learn how to basically be able to communicate with everybody, not just their own people. Now, unfortunately, right now, this is only for Atlanta residents. So if you're in the state of Georgia, this is for you. The effort is especially timely. Georgia's construction industry continues to grow rapidly. I thought it wasn't going to grow without their slaves. Everyone told me there was going to be zero growth and everything's going to get stopped. But yet, even after the slaves are being freed and deported, their construction industry is still growing. And they're going to have to give free education and free training to Americans, and you're going to have to give those Americans these jobs. I'm telling you, there is no going back. There will never be a time in the future that I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to vote for the Democrats because I want the border reopened and I want my jobs gone. I want everybody to have to go back to just living on welfare. That's not happening. We're never going back to that. Not if I have anything to say about it. We're not doing that. Let's see here. The program connects graduates directly with local pro extra contractors, offering real job leads once training is complete. Enrollment is simple. Visit pathiopro.com to register. I'm going to actually put all this in the description of the video. So if you guys know anybody who's interested in getting this training that lives in the state of Georgia, but also I want people to start talking to others in their states and surrounding area. We need something like this nationwide. We need more trades. Getting a master's in social distancing, African American studies, transgender multiculturalism, and snake wrestling, or whatever kind of other bullshit degrees they're giving these kids, and they're literally allowing them to take out exorbitant loans that they won't be able to pay off once they graduate, since these degrees are worthless. To counter that debt crisis that those people are going to be going into, we got to put the kids in trades, and we have to build up a new workforce to replace the slaves. It worked when we did it in the South, and we're going to have to do it now. It's literally, history repeats. It's not even a rhyme. It's literally a verbatim repeat of history. This is amazing. In my whole adult life, never has anybody offered to give me free schooling unless I was playing a sport or had a fucking scholarship. Nobody would give me free anything. And here we are right now. They're going to rebuild the workforce, and they're going to train Americans to replace the slaves. That's amazing. We never even had a chance. We didn't even have an opportunity to turn these jobs down. They've never been there. I grew up in Los Angeles. I never met anybody with a construction job until all of a sudden The past couple of months, all my friends back in California, they're like, my friend just got off work right now. He was working, he worked like the night shift. He's doing construction. And I said, how'd you get a construction job? He said, I walked by the site. They offered it to me, offered me training and everything. Been here 2 months now. Amazing. And these are friends of mine that are gangbangers. So you have hood guys who thought they were going to have to hustle. Now they want to join the workforce and be productive members of society. They want to live traditional conservative lifestyles. They don't want to be Democrats. Where do black Democrats go? To prison, jail, or in a grave? They don't make it that long. Think about it. Trump has to send the military to all the black cities to protect black Democrats from other black Democrats. That's all they're doing. You got to put a white man in a uniform between two black people or they will literally kill each other. Now people are saying in our cities, it's safe to go outside. But now it's going to be safe because instead of standing outside, driving around, shooting people, people are going to actually have jobs. And they're going to have places to live, apartments. They're going to have responsibilities. Then, you know what comes with after that? A family. See, if those Kentucky laws spread to other states, men are not going to be afraid to get married and have kids anymore in the United States. All this is happening under Donald J. Trump. So has Trump made America great again? Absolutely. I look forward to the next 3.5 years of this progress. May God continue to bless America. America first, America only. Make America great again movement, MAGA. I'm Rico Limbaugh, right-wing Rico, the single boyfriend. And I'll be back with another live in about 30 minutes. But like the video, subscribe, share. The Cash App's below if you want to buy me a coffee. And I'm open to, I'll be checking your comments. If you have anything to say or any input, I'm here for it. Glad to hear it. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you again shortly. Oh, and a shout out to our sponsor, cosigning.com. Thank you.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.